Winter is coming. No, my friends, winter is now. Yes, it is now winter. Wintertime is here. Although the fall was getting kind of cold anyway, but now I am talking to you in California, where cold is a relative word. But if you grew up here and you live here, when the thermometer gets under, I don't know, 50, yeah, that's pretty cold for me, at least. So, how to keep warm? Well, I've already reviewed the electric jacket, but you can't really work out in that. So what I've done is, and I did it a year ago, so this is a little past due, but it still works, and I'm firing it up again, literally. Yeah, I guess, although I don't know how you really use it figuratively. But anyway, I'm just rambling on. This is what I do, I ramble. I wanted to review this because it made a huge difference for me, is the portable propane heater. The Vortex type, and I'll explain why I like this one. And one of the reasons I like the heater is actually for weightlifting. So if you lift in the garage, which I do, I want to stay, well, it's interesting because I don't need to stay hot or even that warm. I just like to take the edge off the cold so I don't have to bundle up when I work out. This is the model I went with. This is the Dyna-Glo Deluxe. I don't know if there's a huge difference in them. Lots of words there. I can't even read half of them. They're too small. And a very simple system of turning it, and it flicks the ignition. If we go around to the front, you can see what's in it. Right now, no heat. And of course, a little cord just hooks up to the propane tank. So, I'm not going to do an tutorial on how to use these things, but you would well, you'd fire up the power first, then open it up, and then the switch, and then the heat. So the reason I like this one, and I did try a couple of them, was because despite the little fact that there's a fireball going on inside there and being like blown with the fan, it doesn't get that hot on the outside of it. So it's really safe to touch. Now, it of course, I don't know if you would get burned, but it's pretty hot. It's just not, if you happen to brush up out your leg, you're not going to have third-degree burns on your leg. Now, if you stand in front of it for a long length of time, I mean, I'm talking more than probably 4 or 5 seconds, if that, yeah, you'll start burning. Well, it's pretty, I wouldn't recommend it, let's just say. So you don't want to be in front of it directly within a few inches, but maybe a few feet you'd start feeling it too. You just need to stand back as much as you need to. But again, there's a reason that I like this method, because the other methods, the more of the radiation methods that kind of burn a little furnace right in front of you, those, when I tried it, I realized that just, I mean, it's like about, I don't know, 3 foot up in the air. You just have to brush it. I mean, you just have to accidentally touch it, your hand goes back or something like that. But I know I didn't do that, but that was my concern. You got burns all over your hand, your legs, anything. If it falls over, it's probably going to turn off, but it's still going to be pretty hot, and you might set things on. It's just, they're kind of dangerous, so you'd really have to be careful in a situation where you have that type. I mean, they have its use. And again, those types seem to be good for when you are, the irony is you do need to be close to it, where it's most dangerous to really get it to work. Now, the radiation will eventually heat up the place. But with the air ones, or the vortex ones, I call them the little tornado or vornado, whatever they call them, they actually heat a place up pretty darn fast. I mean, I would keep it on for a few minutes, and then the room is just fine. Now, I'm not here to discuss safety, I'm reviewing the unit. However, carbon monoxide's a real thing. It exists, even though it's invisible. So, I mean, the thing is, you're not gonna, if you had a propane leak, you'd smell the propane right away. That's why they put the odor in those. But you don't smell carbon monoxide, so there's no way to know how much it's, unless you have a sensor. But most of the time people buy carbon dioxide sensors, not carbon monoxide sensors. So in any enclosed space, there's a slight danger, which is going to go up pretty fast the longer you leave it on. I like to keep a door kind of open to a small degree, even though, of course, letting in some cold air and the hot air out. But that's kind of the trade-off you're going to need to do to stay alive. Why not? Let's just stay alive. And again, I just time it, never leave it on, these are safety things that, again, this isn't a safety video, but I try and, remind people, of course, that don't leave it on don't leave the room while it's on. Don't leave it on more than like 5 minutes, I would think, depending on the size of your garage. But I'm just shake the edge off the cold and then turn the thing off, and which I have to do so I can watch Netflix as I work out, and I can't watch Netflix with the noise of it. So there's a reason in and of itself. And I guess let's just fire it up and see how it works. All right, first thing to do, of course, is well, give it some power. This will be hard to see, so okay. That thing's spinning. You can kind of hear how loud it is. Not too bad, of course, because it has no gas, no fireballs burning. Next, let's give it a little gas. And again, if you have a leak, at this point you probably smell, although you're going to start smelling it come out of here. Stand off to the side, of course, you don't want to get burned, and then kind of got to hold it down for, I don't know, I like to think about 6 to 8 seconds, and then when you're comfortable that it's going to catch its cocked, let it go, and we've got a little fireball going on inside there, and again, this will get hot pretty fast. You wouldn't want to be in this area anyway. You'll be burned pretty quickly there. But again, the outside here has got that double layer. You can kind of see this part is fine. It's going to get warmer, of course, but it doesn't get unbearable. You could like brush by it and you'll be fine. That's a dangerous area. You wouldn't want to stay there. So, yeah. But you wouldn't be instantly. You'd have a second or two to get yourself out of it. So there you go. It's pretty nice. The whole garage gets warm pretty quickly. So I got it running. It's working great. It's a little, of course, yes, it's loud. But you keep it on for a few minutes and then turn it off. Make sure you have ventilation, of course. It's not a bad, it's a great way to warm up a garage. Definitely don't use it indoors. This isn't even an attempt to be an indoor one. I mean, they make them, but even those are, I don't know, kind of sketchy, I think. But yeah, a few minutes, warm the place up a little, or take the edge off the cold. Again, if you're working out, you don't need heat, come on. But if it's like 30 degrees, it might, 40 beats 30, I gotta say that. So anyway, I like to give it a few minutes, and then turn it off, get the heat's, but it's great. I mean, and you can turn it on if you're working out in the garage for a long period, then you can turn it on every, I don't know, 50, whatever it takes. I don't know, whatever it takes. I'm just reviewing the unit. It's a pretty good unit. Like I said, it is kind of loud, but... And now it's off again, and now I can hear myself think. Like I said, it is a little loud, and definitely can smell, the gas a little bit. And of course, when turning it off, I turn off the gas first, and then unplug the power, just so you know for a fact, because it will go off. I mean, the fireball will go out. You'll still hear the fan. Now, I wish I could say it was perfect. There was a problem. It was, it's weird because it didn't stay. Okay, here's the problem. What am I pausing for? Time is money. Well, not, but okay. The little switch I mentioned, I had to like click it and hold it, and then I would release it after 6 seconds, and then sometimes the fireball went out. It didn't stay. You have to do it again. Fireball went out. It didn't stay. And do it again. I would do it like sometimes, I don't know, 20 times in a row, and finally it would catch. Now, could that be low propane? Maybe, but it happened for a while, but then it stopped. So all of a sudden, that problem was gone. I mean, it was it was actually last year it was going on. And then this year, I started to use it again when it got cold, and right off the bat, it worked just fine. And every time since, it's worked just fine. So I don't know. I have no idea what caused that, but if you do get certain degree low on propane, the pressure's just too low and the fireball won't even start at all. So, but that was a different problem. Anyway, so just keep that in mind. There was that, and I think it does have those little right side up sensors, so it won't go when it's like on its side or something. And it seemed to happen one time after it was like offset. So maybe that triggered something that just never got fixed until now, which again, by magic, that fixed it. Anyway, I'm just putting it out there because that's good to know that those things, you do have to deal with that. But that's not alone. Propane, I've seen that on a lot of things before, and who knows what causes it. And this is last year's model, maybe this year's model. Doesn't have that problem anymore. And again, if it's not if it's just continual, then I guess take it back for a new one. But anyway, I'd recommend it. I like it a lot, and it saved me from frostbite during my workouts.